The best place to start with rotations is actually fixing an error that we made last time. Remember that we changed the axis we wanted to axis to access by changing this to vertical. But we never changed the name of our variable. It still says horizontal. C# doesn't know the difference. It's still thinking it works just fine, but us humans need this to match up just so that we can not go insane when trying to make sense of what's going on. So I'm going to right click after I've highlighted this variable and go rename. I'm going to retype it. This is a vertical. Oops, let me spell it right. Vertical input. And I'm going to hit apply. And that's going to change the name for everything. Now this all matches up and makes sense. So what are we going to do for the horizontal input? I'm going to copy and paste some code and let you see what goes on. So I'm just going to replace this here. I still have my vertical input and my speed that I used previously, but I'm also adding in a horizontal input and a turn speed because I want to add in some turning. And down below here, I'm going to add in the code for turning. I'm going to paste in the first line where I get the horizontal input from my axis, get axis horizontal. Remember, I can still change the keys associated with this if I want under my edit project settings. I'm going to type out this next line so we can follow along for how this works. I'm going to transform, and instead of the position, which is this translate term, I'm going to change my rotation. And in this, I actually need to tell it how much to rotate by. I'm still going to use this idea of a vector 3, meaning 3 dimensions, x, y, and z. And I'm going to say vector 3 dot. Now, what do I want to do for rotation? Unity is smart enough to give me an option that will work for rotation. Do I want down or forward? Do I want left? Do I want, well, not one. Do I want right? What do I want? Well, let's just trial and error this. At this point in coding, I really like to just kind of try things out and build an intuition over time. Let's take a look first and try to make sense of what we might be expecting. We'll find that rotations are a little bit odd. They have to do with rotation axes rather than actual direct numbers. So I have my car. I want it to go left and right in rotation. And if I face the back of it, I have Z to the left and right, Y up and down, and X forward and back. So it seems that rotating left and right, I should be rotating on the Z axis. Is that right? Let's try. Vector 3, which one is the z-axis? Well, down is actually y. So let's back looks like it's the z-axis. Let's just see what back does. And I also need to make sure that I have the same multipliers. I need the horizontal input. I need time dot delta time. And I need turn speed to change the values of this. Save it. And now my car has another variable. Turn speed being 0 won't help us, so I need to make it something bigger. I know from experience 50 should do the trick. So let's put in that and let's see what forward and back still works. Left and right, oh, it's being really glitchy. It looks like the vehicle's trying to like lift off as if it has some kind of like cool hydraulic thing in it. It's not working for me. So clearly it's not a z-axis, so rotations are a little bit weird. And we're not going to master them right now. We're just going to use our kind of intuition building trial and error at this point in time. So let's try a different axis. Down looks like it targets the y. What happens if we try the y-axis? I'm just going to save this, give it a try. No harm in experimenting. And when I run this, I'm going to try to turn left first. And I'm turning right. Hey, look, the turning is working, but it's reversed. I'm pressing left, now right. Ugh. Well, I got really close. Down is the opposite of what I want, so maybe that means I should go up instead. That's the axis I want. So let's save it and run it. Now I got left and right and forward and back, and oh man, it feels really good. Let's see if I can just, whoa, I messed up. I was trying to do a cool thing landing on the edge and I'm flying to my death forever. Anyway, see you in the next tutorial.